Hey guys, how's it going? So I figured I would talk about GPS units versus using your phone as a GPS. Now this is only in my opinion, so you can count that as my disclaimer, because everyone has different preferences for different reasons. Now don't we? I mean, you might like one restaurant and I say, well, that's pretty gross. We all have different taste, likes and wants and needs. So, personally, I prefer having a GPS unit. Now, my argument to that is, well, if I break my $600 GPS unit, I do not have to go out and buy a new one right away. It is a luxury item. I don't have to have it, although for my work with Trail Taker, I kind of do, and I would buy one, but that's just because it's kind of a unique situation. But I could still wait a month or two and get by and just use my phone and track, right? Toss one of my old phones into my pocket and just record. I do not use a GPS like my Garmin Montana 650T to route. I don't typically follow routes. Now in my car, I might, hey, the doctor's office I've never been to, or, something else. Even then, very rarely do I actually plug it in, the address, and have it route me to the place. And even then, I will take, a lot of times, a different way than whatever unit I'm using, whether it's built into the car or my phone. I will alternate from that path. I don't follow GPSs 100% of the time, and following 100% of the time, it would be very rare for me to do. So why do I have a GPS? Mainly to record tracks to share with you guys and gals, and to share my adventures. I do not use a GPS for route planning. I'm one of those, which is probably unique in the riding community, to actually not really care about other people's tracks even. And now I do understand a lot of people do care about that, do like finding new places, will decide to say, hey, I want to follow the TAT, even though 100 other people have done it, and it's really not a new adventure. People, tend to like to follow others people's adventures, like the BDR. That's a very popular routes they have made, and people buy into following other people's routes. But I acknowledge there are a large group of adventure riders that don't make their own adventures. They just follow others. Nothing wrong with that, not bashing them for that. That's just not me. So a GPS for me is I can quickly look down, like that's where I've traveled. I can, if I see a little trail off, like it shows me this trail coming up off to the right. I guess not, right here, around the corner, somewhere. But see, and I can look for it, I can see if is it a legal trail, is it an old trail, what exactly is the deal with the trail coming up. Oh, I guess it's on this corner. And yeah, this one right here. See, it's a legal trail, 320D. It dead ends, no shooting. But if I've never been here before, I quickly saw, like, hey, I can go down that. I'm not following anyone's routes. I'm just getting an idea, like, hey, there's, I know it dead ends, shows it dead ends on here, but I can go back there and see what it's all about. That is what a GPS is for me, is to find my next adventure, if you will. Not for following a predetermined adventure. You're probably like, what's he doing? It doesn't slope down. If that rock would have sloped down, that would have been awesome. Actually, I think I've checked that out before. Because it's so perfect and wide, like it'd be a cool picture riding across it. But, yeah. Now, I'm not saying a phone can't be used like a GPS. I use my phone in my vehicle, especially my new vehicle, because I don't have a nav anymore, nav system. I just use the phone because Google's so good. Bring up Google and I can actually talk to it and say, you know, discount tire, and it's gonna like show me where the discount tires are at. And then I can select the one, or I can say discount tire, Monument, Colorado. And it will show me where that one's at, or directions too. It does really good, a lot better than most of the car systems, and why a lot of the car systems are going to where you can just show your phone display and not even really needing to pay for the GPS unit in the vehicle itself. So I do use my phone in a car situation. I just find it superior, and it probably is superior to the Garmin, no doubt. And in a lot of ways, in a lot of software ways, it's a lot more superior. User-friendly touch screens that you can pinch to zoom and quickly move around, and good processors to be capable of doing that in a speedy fashion. Montana 650 is pretty speedy overall, so it's not too bad. It's not like I have an old Nuvi Garmin GPS unit in my truck. It was sitting on our shelf forever because the last vehicles, the wife and I had a nav system, so didn't really need it. Or it was good to take on vacation, but anyway, it's pretty sluggish. I used it on my trip from Tennessee, or to Tennessee and back from Tennessee, just because, you know, I could leave it on and didn't have to leave the phone necessarily always on the map. And, yeah, I mean, it works, but it is an older model, but it is very sluggish. You zoom in and you do have to wait. So it's kind of like you better be prepared, and when it recalculates, you have to wait. I'm sure the newer ones are a lot better, but, you know, just give an example where a lot of people might be coming from if they had an older Garmin Nuvi type system, or maybe even an older Magellan or TomTom. There might be a good delay in waiting for the map to refresh or be able to draw stuff on the map when you zoom in or out. So I can see where people are coming from. The newer units are quick. I mean, they're pretty quick. I mean, there's no issue with the Montana. It's pretty quick. I can overlay maps on it, which is awesome. I know you can do that with an app with the phone. I've played around with the various apps with the phone, and I mean, they're great for. They're a dime a dozen. There's so many out there, first off. And, you know, they're not bad. And, yeah, I played with, like, I think there was, like, Backcountry or something like that. And you can, like, download, you know, a region of a map, but you have to highlight it and download it. And it's kind of a pain. I really wish somebody would take, like Garmin has with the City Navigator. I mean, I think the file's only like 4 gig or 4.5 gig or something like that now. I mean, it keeps going up over the years, but that's because you keep adding stuff. But, okay, let's even assume it was 8 gig. Well, any modern smartphone can handle that. And I'm not saying, obviously Garmin is a proprietary system, so I'm not saying them necessarily, but I'm surprised somebody hasn't come up, made a whole map you just download and use your phone then as a GPS, and then you don't even, other than have GPS signal, you don't need any data, and you're not downloading silly sections of maps. Then I could almost buy into the phone. And you might say, well, why almost? Well, somebody had a good point on this thread on Facebook in the Dual Sport Rider Facebook page, is, well, the power connections are freaking weak. They are a weak link, and they wear out, and they're just not made to handle the vibrations. And, you know, you whack a branch and you whack the power cable, or it gets pulled on, it just doesn't work. Now, I agree that somebody needs to make a better mounting system for when you want to use your phone, smartphone, on a bike for power. Like a cradle, like the Garmins and the Zoomies and stuff have power cradle, so like the connection's also on the back and you just push it on and boom boom, and you don't have to use the silly USB connection ports, you know, that are not made for it. And then if you have a rugged phone and you have your power plugged in, then your waterproofing and sand and dirt and stuff can still get into the phone. And let's go check out the workers. And you know, that's just not good either. Like I said, I don't have a cheap phone, although right now it would be because I've had my S5 for a while, but that's because I don't like continually paying for phones. So it was an exciting day when Verizon stopped billing us for our phones. It's like, well, and it's almost hard to get a phone when you're not paying for it. We own it now. I don't want to just buy a phone to buy it. Now, if I break it tomorrow, then I break it. It's not like I don't carry my phone with me. It could possibly break. All the 100,000 plus miles I have ridden, I have never landed on my leg to smash the phone, because I keep the phone in the side pocket of my left pant leg, screen inwards, to protect the screen. I used to, while we were paying for the phone, I had the OtterBox, I had the, forget the brand of the Gorilla Glass you can like stick on the display. I mean, I had all that on there. I mean, it was cocooned. Well, once we paid off the phone, I'm like, the phone's old, I could buy a new one tomorrow if needed, and not feel like I have to, you know, pay off this one on the plan then to buy a new one, because I would never just buy another one on top of one. Those people that do that they are crazy. I mean, it'd be more likely I'd go into Costco and buy I would pay off the current phone and go in and buy probably a $200 phone, right? I wouldn't buy a $600-700 phone. If I was still, you know, had to pay one off. But I have luckily never broken a phone. The only, well, I take that back. Before smartphones, on flip phones, which wasn't that long ago, guys. Flip phones, that was the phone. I did break one, but it's because I threw it because I got pissed off. But then I just went on eBay and bought a new plastic case and had to just pull the whole phone apart, transfer all the components over to the new plastic case. That was easy back then. Yeah, you can still repair repair smartphones and stuff, but they're a lot more difficult. And I probably could do it, but I'd rather not. I mean, I'd probably just buy a new phone. But phones are fragile is my point. Okay, yes, some people have had good luck. Some people have been down 100 times and have never hit their phone just right. My GPS, first time I got it, slid down a rock face with the bike on top at 5 miles of hell. I had just got the new GPS. And believe me, first thoughts were, oh no. I was very sad. Now, if it was my phone, it would have for sure broken. I don't care what case you would have had on it. That's the weak part about phones, are the glass displays. Now, I do wish the GPS units would have glass displays, but that's the downside. Even if it's Gorilla Glass, it's not indestructible. And the softer displays actually, you know, are a little more forgiving, if you will. So there is a rhyme and reason why they use them. I do, but like I keep saying, I do agree. Garmin is out of date. MAGELLAN actually has a much more modern unit, but like I said, Garmin is out of date. I mean, it would be nice if I could, through Wi-Fi, connect to my Garmin unit at my house, and within my house, I would probably be able to leave it on the bike. Of course, it would have to be powered on, I guess, but I could download or have an app that I can download trails right to it or something, you know, at least through my phone. So even if I download on the PC, I could toss those on the phone, and I can just never unmount the GPS. You know, I wish there was a better solution to that than going in and grabbing them and what have you. And it is nice you can share through Bluetooth the trails, but that doesn't always work, and it's not a, yeah, it's just not a great system they have. You have to try multiple times, I have found, to ever share a trail with somebody else that has a Montana. So that kind of stinks. The glass, not having pinch to zoom, having a weird file type system. This is probably, Montana is more customizable than ever. I had an old Zumo 550 and you couldn't really customize the display. There's quite a bit of customization you can do. Battery life tends to be better if I were just to use this for like hiking. It's nice that they not only have a lithium ion battery in this unit, but they also let you put in some, I think, AA's, so you can still power the unit with just normal batteries. So good backup, good contingency, so they thought very well about that. So I don't know, guys and gals. I mean, you heard my whole thing on GPS units, and you know, I'm probably for a while yet going to continue to use a dedicated GPS unit and probably even buy a newer one instead of using my phone. Now, there will be at some point where somebody in the cell phone industry will be like, yeah, we need a power mount. Yeah, you know, we need maybe a case that they sell extra that can also be wrapped around that will guarantee, you know, your ability or the likelihood that you're not going to break your phone. You know, designed for that phone with the power in it and stuff. So everything's protected and waterproof and all that good stuff. There will be a point when that probably happens, but it just is not quite there yet. And when there is, then the only lacking thing is, at least for me, is having that software where I can actually, you know, have all the map right on my unit. And then there's no need for Wi-Fi. There's no need for Wi-Fi 4G to download map data, and I don't have to just pick and choose what data. I'd have the whole whatever at that time size the map is. If it's 8 gig, it's 8 gig. I mean, memory is dirt cheap now. So once they get those two things, I think then cell phones will be the way to go and be even much more multi-used. I might actually, for you guys and gals, I might actually buy a rugged phone and try using it as with a bike mount and everything. I'm thinking about it and give you my honest review after using it. Maybe, you know, do reviews using the different software packages, because we do so much riding and tracking. You know, I could be like, okay, yeah, that one does not work well. That one works somewhat better. This one, you know, works great for tracking. And if you want to know the software package I use for tracking, it's a free piece of software. It's called MyTracks. Now, Google had that, but they quit doing it, so somebody else kind of ripped it off and started doing it. It's pretty good. I like it. I mean, for tracking, it's awesome because I can just hit record and boom, 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 walk around if I'm hiking or whatever, and end it or put waypoints and while I'm out there and end it, and I have that particular trail, and it's real sweet, and I don't need the map to load. I don't care if the map loads. I just want my stuff being drawn on, you know, drawn. I don't need to see it. I'm not using it for that. I'm just using it for tracking. So anyways, guys, gals, I hope this kind of gave you insight of GPS units and phones and my thought on it. But it's really up to you and what you can afford to do and what you would like to do and what works best for your situations. So have a good one. Take care.